NFL stadium because they in the media box where I was, the windows are closed. They're not pumping in the sound from outside into the media box. So even though you can still hear, you don't get that
Full
quality
effect.
sound. You don't
You
get the
don't get
whole
the full
effect.
effect. But going back, that's what the whole YouTube. I went back and I watched that. Um, I managed to get up and get out a little bit, and I was down on the field for the whole fifth. So being able to hear all of that, to hear the different songs that were being played, I love Jackson State's intensity. I think that it's great. Um, but I don't think that they necessarily um, felt
They
like
didn't
the
blow your
100.
socks off. They didn't blow your socks off, is what you're maybe trying to
No,
say,
what I'm
right?
saying is I don't think that they took this game as serious as they will this week because they played Tennessee State. So that's
Okay.
going to be an all-out war in the stands. From the moment that the bands get there, they're going to be going at it. So that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a straight-up war. But I will say that the 100 held their own. I think the 100 represented. Um, And FAMUs have to get used to the fact that your blue blood programs are never going to admit an L.
No, sure. You're right.
FAMU is never going to admit that another band was better. Jackson State is never going to admit that another band was better, unless it's like, quote unquote, just a straight annihilation. Um, Southern people, it took them all the way from 2000 all the way up to this year for them to admit that the 100 show in 2000 was the best that any band has done in Baton Rouge.
Really.
Yeah. They took them all the way to this year for them to actually admit that. What is that, 21 years later?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So your blue blood programs have so much tradition and so much pride that they're never going to admit an L. Um, you have to go above and beyond. And I will say that the proof though is in the pudding. I think if you just look at what went viral, what people connected with, more people
Yep.
connected with FAMU showing the basketball going into the hoop. I mean, that went on ESPN, CBS Sports, and then the what is it, the Shade Room, just a number of different platforms. It was just straight up well executed. People saw exactly what it was. They knew what it was. It was no comparison, in my opinion.
And I feel
Agreed.
like what's that?
I was just saying that I agree. The 100, they got the W. They did what they do.
Yeah.
And that was an
Um,
8 minute show. And I want to say that in the SWAC, you've got to do 8 minute halftime. So the 10 minute halftime shows are going to be null and void unless we have some type of agreement or something like that. Um, Maybe at the Florida Classic, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna pull that 8 minutes all the way through. Um,
well, this was about a 20
Possibly
minute halftime. This was about a 20-minute halftime. I think I noticed
eight
Jackson
minutes
State.
for the band. Yeah,
Really? Okay. It
it's
looked like
supposed to be eight
Jackson.
minutes.
Okay. It looked like a little bit more. The 100 will be playing in the NFL kickoff festivities tomorrow. Matter of fact, we're recording this in the middle of the week, but Thursday is the start of the NFL season. Tampa Bay will be
It's not gonna
hosting.
be the full band. It's gonna be a smaller group representing the 100, along with the FAMU concert choir that's going to sing. I believe "Lift Every Voice and Sing." So
Okay.
that's that, but it's still going to brand our university and put us in position to do greater things.
Okay. Not the full 100.
It
All
will
right.
not be the full
Uh,
band.
all right. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with one of the voices of the Rattler Sports Network, quarterback legend, Hall of Famer, Albert
Let's
Chester
go.
Sr. He'll be coming on to talk to us, and we'll kind of pick his brain about what he saw from this past weekend in Miami. Stay tuned. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi will be back right after these words.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food?
Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp,
Tofu and Rasta pasta?
well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock.
In downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m.
Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock.
In downtown Atlanta.
For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992.
Or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com.
For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant.
Authentic Caribbean cuisine.
Open up the door, tell them mama hungry.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today,
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Kofi Hemingway, and joining us right now on a soon-to-be sponsored hotline. I'm sure any sponsors out there looking to sponsor our hotline, well, here's an opportunity because joining us, our first guest on our hotline is FAMU Hall of Famer and legend, the quarterback, Albert Chester, Sr. How you doing, sir?
Awesome. I'm doing great. Glad to be with you guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for taking time. Busy night. Want to get your thoughts on what you saw. Maybe give us your initial impressions of what you saw from FAMU this past Sunday. I wanted to say Saturday, but this past Sunday in Miami.
Well, every time we line up, we expect to win. And that's the expectation, I think, that the whole Rattler Nation has. And the loss stings. But what I saw was a team that was gritty, a team that fought. We missed some opportunities that we could have taken advantage of, and we fell short. The mark of a true champion is how you bounce back. And it's very important to see how these young guys bounce back. I'm sure Coach Willie Simmons has these guys on a pace now to try to reload. And this is redemption week. But, Dion came down with his ball club, man. They're not the same ball club that we saw in the spring. We knew that. And obviously had some great talent on both sides of the ball. I mean, his young son threw the ball around real well. And he has a whole lot to be proud about, and I just think that it was just one of those opportunities we let slip through. And it's always tough to win that first game, man. I tell people all the time, I remember we played back in 78. We played Albany State, and we should have beat them by 50 points. We ended up beating them 21-7, I believe it was. It might have been 21-0, but that was a low-scoring output for a team that ended up being national champs. But it's that first game. You want to get that behind you. Now, keep in mind, these guys hadn't played a game in over 650 days, almost 700 days. That's a long time. And although they had been indoctrinated into Willie Simmons' system, and we too also received some kids from the portal. We fell short. So I think, one thing about it, you can't move forward looking back, and it stings, no doubt. And but we're going to rebound, and this could be a trap game though, because you got to be careful because this next foe we have, Fort Valley is a Division II school. Now keep in mind they beat Tuskegee 30-0
Right.
last weekend. So yeah. So I'm watching all of that, But our kids got to line up and play. They got to bring their A game every time we play, because everybody's always shooting for the Rattlers, and there's no room for error. We gotta give it the best we got every play, and make sure we come out victorious.
Hey, Alvin, this is Kelvin. I was wondering what did you see in terms of the challenges we were having in terms of pass protection and just the whole quarterback play and the of course you play the position at a high level and have some expertise in this. Just talk about what you what we saw and what you anticipate will happen this Saturday.
Well, I tell you what, because of the weather, the early part of the game, obviously you guys were there. The bottom fell out, and there were a couple of plays, couple of series that McKay got hit pretty good, and I couldn't see him up close. But one time the camera was right in his face, and he had that deer in the headlight look. And I think he took a couple of shots that kind of shook him a little bit, and I don't think he ever got it back together. Now, it's easy to always the Monday morning quarterback the thing, but I think
Right.
Coach Simmons was a little late in taking him out, pulling him and switching up. And but I think he took a couple of big shots. Now they came out with a defensive scheme that that seemed to be a little challenging for our guys because we couldn't pass protect. I thought we should have maybe zone block, maybe had a second back in the backfield, and had max protection so we can complete a few passes, and then take advantage of. Again, a lot of this is on McKay as well. You got to take advantage of opportunities. You pre-snap read, making sure, ensuring that the play that you call is the best play for that opportunity. And then if you don't see it there, to be able to check out of it. But again, I think if you go back and look at the film, those first two series, he took a couple of big shots. I mean, to the head, they pushed him down pretty good. And I don't think he ever got it right back together. I think Coach was riding it out with him. He was trying to ride out with him a little too long. But the pre-snap read is what's important. Zone blocking, to me, is an option. And, of course, I don't know enough about his offense to dictate what they should have done. But my thought process was when you saw guys making plays, and they weren't even being blocked. These guys weren't touched. And they were big people, big, strong guys. I mean, he's assembled a pretty good, talented bunch of guys on the both sides. My hat's off to their defensive coordinator, Dennis Thurman. He did a great job. I thought our defense played lights out, though. I mean, in spite of everything, I think our defense played lights out. Cornerbacks were where they needed to be. A couple times we didn't get the calls when we should have. On offense, there was some interference. The referees kind of let those guys get a little handy with their hands. But then when you think about it, the political side of it all, Dion kind of had those refs in his back pocket. He is the symbol of the icon right now, I think, for HBCU football. Not from a negative perspective, because he's drawing so much attention. And everything he's doing, I think, is all good for not only FAMU, but for all of Black College. And so I think, politically, he got some calls that probably would have gone our way. And you can win a football game on one or two plays. I mean, we were one or two plays and probably about 15 yards short of kicking a field goal, which would have won the game. Ugly win, but that first game, like I said, is always tough. So I expect the young quarterback that Coach Simmons has decided to go with, Junior. He's come in. I kind of tracked him a little bit. He came in the spring and digest what we are trying to do, process. A lot of this on his own, and you want to see it translate now to the field. He had a great uh, training camp, and obviously, he moved in front of some people who had been in other quarterbacks who've been in the system for a minute. So
Mm-hmm.
he can spin the ball now. I mean, I think you saw that ball come out of with a little juice, and he can pull it down and he can run with it. We don't need a quarterback. I mean, the optimum would be to have you a guy who could go take it to the house every time he pull it down. But you don't need but 10 yards for a fresh set of downs. And I think he has the wheels to extend plays. He has the wheels to run the football. And we missed some opportunities there in the Jackson State game as well to do that. But he has a talented arm. He's got arm talent that I think will be uh, on display this weekend, and I think that we'll see how it all plays out. But and I'm sure McKay is still. I mean, he's a good kid. I mean, I had a chance to talk to him. I think I kind of mentioned to a couple of guys that last year he had the dreads. He cut the dreads, and when I went to doing spring ball, I had a chance to talk to him a little bit, and he said, "Mr. Chester, I cut off about 7 pounds of hair." He didn't even like the same kid, but nevertheless, from a defensive perspective, I thought we played lights out. We played championship type football. Even with the big plays, you're gonna get those. But I think our guys came up, man, and they matched up very well. I think we need to adjust sometimes to some schemes that the defense is giving us. Sometimes even if you have to put an extra back end to get max protection so our guys have an opportunity to execute. So coaches are responsible for putting your kids in a position to hit a home run.
We've got a long way to go. You know, really all of this season, but uh, the adage that defense wins championships, I think, will bode well for us down the line, provided we can continue to make progress offensively. Um, I think this also bodes well, even just really for an opportunity there. Even if we don't necessarily win the SWAC East, if we do what we're supposed to do, we may end up in the FCS playoff with an opportunity to play for it all. So um, I think with our skills, the skilled people that we have, and with the talent that we have, um, this might end up being a blessing in disguise of some sort. So I'm encouraged by what we're going through, or even just going through this past weekend. I think that what we saw on the field was two FCS level defenses um, going at it. I mean, FBS, sorry, FBS level defenses really going at it, and it was evident the talent level and even the schematics that were going on the field, and I'm looking forward to see what adjustments we make.
Well, I totally agree with you. I totally agree, and I agree. Again, that's why I hope that the Rattler Nation will just exhale. I mean, it stings, but let's exhale and get through this. Not the end of the season. I mean, this is
Right.
it. 6 to 7 loss. Not having a W hurts, but I mean, we can get past this, and you can't move forward looking back. Let's look back at the film, see what we did wrong, see how we can improve, get better every day, and go out and play the kind of football that represents FAMU. I mean, Willis Simmons has had a high-powered offense. I mean, we what we did do was score a lot of points the last 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean? And 350 to 400 yards a game, and to come out and not give that type of performance. The effort was there. Now there was a lot of effort. I mean, the running backs looked good. There were times when receivers did well. We just didn't have the kind of quarterback play I think that we needed in that first game to pull us out for a victory. That being said, again, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Again, Fort Valley is not going to come in here and lay down. They scored 30 points and they shut out Tuskegee, who's been a perennial power in Division II football. So I'm excited about seeing what we're going to do, and I'm sure that the Rattlers will prevail.
Mr. Chester, before we let you get out of here, obviously with this Fort Valley matchup coming, is this a game, as you think about this upcoming game, is this, we definitely need to not take Fort Valley lightly, but is this really going to be a game more about us, FAMU, or is we have some things to maybe watch, or what did you, if you had a chance to watch Fort Valley against Tuskegee, are there some things that we need to be concerned about? Give us, if you can, maybe about a minute breakdown of how you see this game or what we need to pay attention to in this upcoming game.
Well, this particular year, because of everything that's happened with the COVID and the portal, a lot of schools picked up a lot of different players from different schools from across the country, and I'm pretty sure Fort Valley picked up a few players as well. Now, in terms of they got talented people on both sides of the football, so it's all from where I'm sitting. Football is football. I don't care where you play it and who you play. You just got to go out and play your game. We got to go out there and bust them in the mouth, redeem ourselves, regain our confidence as a football program, and keep moving. I think that we're right where we want to be. It could be a trap game though. You don't want to take these guys for granted, because the following week you go play a Division I foe in South Florida. So I say let's take one game at a time. Treat everybody like they're the enemy. The old saying, "Kill a mosquito with an axe." That's what we got to do. And let's beat the bricks off these guys, and then reload next week. You can't worry about what happened down in Miami. Let's focus on this week. Focus on what they're doing, and go out, execute, play good, sound football. Play fast and physical on defense. Be aggressive and control the line of scrimmage. I don't care who you got playing quarterback. If you don't have people pushing people around up front, it ain't gonna happen. So we need to just get back to fundamentals, do what we do best, and beat the bricks off of them, and be done with that, and then move on to the next opponent. Don't look down the road. Don't worry about what happened. Let's just take care of these guys and move on to the next game.
Well said. Al Chester Sr., the Hall of Famer, the national champion. He is the color analyst on the Rattler Sports Network. Kickoff is 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to go to FAMUathletics.com/RSN for the Rattler Sports Network. That's where you can hear his call of the game, along with Mike Thomas, I believe, right? That's the gentleman who does play-by-play, right?
That's correct.
Right. So Mike Thomas, Al Chester calling the game. It should be a good one. I'm not sure if there's any, you guys correct me, is there any video coverage anywhere, or the best we know, we're just going to have to tune in and listen to the audio broadcast? Is that, and that's all right, because
I don't think there's a television broadcast, but feel free to tune in to us. Mike and I will give you the best we got. We call it just like we see it.
Beautiful. That's all we can ask, and that's sometimes that's the best way to hear it. That's what we all need. So if you're not going to be traveling up to Tallahassee, if you're not going to be in Bragg Stadium, then you know where to go. Get online, wherever. Any way you can listen to the Rattler Sports Network, FAMUathletics.com/RSN. I got to get it right. You caught me there, Kobe.
Let's go.
I know, RSN. That's the Rattler Sports Network. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chester. Have a great call. Great game. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, we'll be back right after these words. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi. We'll be back right after these words.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together we can be the change.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Are you hungry for
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian Fulford, Kelvin Rozier, Kofi Hemingway, and joining us right now, we're going to move away from off the gridiron and go inside in a nice air-conditioned volleyball courts and talk about our Lady Rattlers who are rolling right now. One of the best records in the SWAC. Might even be one of the best programs in HBCU volleyball. I'm just going to say it and just put it out there. It's going to be what it's going to be. Joining us right now, Ms. Dominique Washington. Dominique, welcome to the O&G Strike Zone. How you doing?
Hello, great. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, glad to have you on. You just to let people know, you're joining us after a class this evening. What you guys know, you remember those late night Wednesday 6:00 classes. You mind telling us what class are you coming from? How fun was it tonight?
It was actually a graduate seminar class, a leadership class. So from 6:30 to 8 every Wednesday.
There you go. And of course, for those who may not know, Dominique is a grad transfer, graduated this past spring, I believe, from Georgia Tech University. I believe a degree in mathematics, correct?
Actually, they never updated it. It was history, technology, and society.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, Dominique comes from Chicago, Illinois, after being at Georgia Tech for the last few years. So, Dominique, as we get to talk a little bit about and learn a little bit about you before we get into talking about the early part of the season, tell us how you found your way to FAMU from Georgia Tech.
Well, actually, at Georgia Tech, I had a great experience there the last 4 years. You know, I didn't necessarily have the role of being on the court all the time, but I really appreciated my role and my perspective that I could give to my teammates. And so after my 4 years, I really wanted to further my volleyball career by actually playing on the court, and having a better opportunity. And so I was talking to FAMU and learning more about their program, and it really fit into the beliefs and values that I want to pursue and a program that I would want to represent. And so that's why I'm here, and I'm really excited to get this season going and help uplift this program.
Right. Now, I noticed as I was looking back into your years at Georgia Tech, you're coming in with, and I'm thrown off by how many years any student athlete has these days. So are you coming in with just 1 year of eligibility, or did you pick up a second year because of last year's extra year that was granted?
Yes, I actually have 2 years of eligibility.
Oh,
One
nice,
from redshirting my freshman year, and then
nice.
last year due to COVID. Even though we had a season in the fall and spring of last year and this year, I still got a year back of eligibility, and so fortunately, I have 2 more years on the court.
Oh, oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Go ahead. I got tons of questions, but I don't want to hog up the time here, so we're gonna toss it around. Kelvin, you can go next. What do you got?
Dominique, tell me what has been your impression? When did First of all, I'd like to know when did you get to FAMU officially, and while you've been here and with the program and so forth, and now you've got 6 games on your belt. Just tell me about your experience, your volleyball, your athletic experience, as well as your cultural and social experience at FAMU thus far.
So I actually got admitted into FAMU around July, late July, and I came to Tallahassee around the 26th, I think, and moved in and got settled in, and then had a couple of open gyms with the team, whoever was around. But with my past athletic experience, um, I really didn't have much role on the court, as I said, at Georgia Tech. And so I was kind of like the sideline leader. I still had the opportunity to lead and be captain of my team, but from a different perspective and, kind of seeing what others might not see on the court and helping them with that. So that was a very important part with my experience of where I am today. I think it adds a lot to my skill and what I can do now. Um, my experience here so far has been great. Although we haven't had many home games yet from the exhibition match, I am really excited to play here and play at home because I really feel the support and the energy that the crowd gives. And I love the band and all of the fans. It was so fun, and I'm so excited to be here and playing games here.
Nice.
Well, Rattler Nation loves their volleyball, and I am excited to see what you all are going to do next. Going, just basically taking it to the next level. Do you see yourself coaching later on down the line with volleyball, given the different perspectives and different things that you've had?
So I actually have been a coach with my previous coaches volleyball club in Atlanta. I was an assistant coach for a club volleyball team, a 15-year-old team. And it's definitely different. Not everyone who plays volleyball can be a coach. But I would
Right.
say it was fun. It was a fun opportunity because of the experience I have helping younger athletes, younger girls, develop their skills. And they look up to me to be where I am, to get that higher education while playing volleyball. And so it was fun. I would definitely do it for the opportunity or for providing opportunity and giving them insight as to how to get recruited and where to commit and what to look for in a college. And so I would definitely do it for younger athletes, but not necessarily at a super high level.
Right. This is my last question. So it's a big difference between the traffic level in Atlanta and the traffic level here in Tallahassee. I used to uh, I used to live in Beaufort, and yeah, so I used to live in Atlanta. So having to deal with that traffic and the commute, and being able to get everywhere I need to get in about 15 minutes has been a plus in Tallahassee. So what has that transition from Atlanta to Tallahassee been like for you?
It's definitely been a bit of a culture shock, especially going from Georgia Tech specifically to FAMU. I would say Georgia Tech was like, even though it was in Atlanta, it was like its own secluded community and it was kind of separated from the city. But I think definitely the traffic was way worse. You can never count on that, especially on the highway. But being from Chicago, I'm also used to that. And so it wasn't too much of a shift. But coming down here, it's everything runs smoothly. I like the city. It's a pretty big city, and there's a lot of things to do. And so I'm still exploring and getting to know it. But I like it so far.
Cool.
Nice, nice. Well,
Awesome.
definitely Tallahassee. Tallahassee does grow on you. So It's good that you're going to be around for a couple years. We definitely love to hear that. So for those who may not know, and what's great about your story is, like you said, you were coming out of high school. You played various positions. You were a setter, an outside hitter, and then you go to Georgia Tech, where it seemed, as you kind of said, you were kind of in a role. You're really more, seems like you were playing more of a role, and then you get down here and you have blossomed into an attack killer right now. Right, the stats prove it. The third in the country right now in kills per set at 5.11 per set, which is also number one in the SWAC. Um, Not only that, your defensive skills. You're second on the team in digs, and one of the I think about somewhere in 4 per set, and you had a game, a career game against Florida International, a career high, 29 kills, 16 digs. Even though we lost that game or lost that match, we went 3-1 against them. Talk a little bit about what that experience was like. I mean, 29 kills, 16 digs, and then you've been blowing it up in these tournaments. I mean, we're 3-3, and I mean, you've been a big part of it. Obviously, what's that feeling been like for you over the last couple of weekends?
Yeah, it's been really fun to just step on the court again first and foremost. I love playing volleyball, and so finally getting to step on the court and, play as a team and finally show what we've worked for this whole preseason has really been fun because since I've gotten here, the team has been so welcoming and everything's been going really smoothly. And so every time we step on the court, we just go at it. And it's been so fun. And I couldn't reach those individual goals without my teammates. And I know that they always have my back and I always have theirs. And having that support is really necessary to reach those goals and those individual goals. And I think from reaching those individual goals, it kind of shows where our team is at as well. Because, like I said, without my team is just so close. So I think we're heading in a good direction.
Yeah, most definitely. Kelvin, you got another question for Dominique?
Yes, you mentioned goals and so forth, and I was just wondering, what are some team goals and personal goals you have in terms of this year and this team?
Yeah, I think every day we're working towards focusing specifically on the conference tournament at the end of November, I believe. And although all these other games do matter and are a great focus for us, we want to win that conference tournament to potentially put us into the NCAA tournament at the end of the season. And personally, I think just continuing to build those close relationships with my teammates so that we can perform to a high level. I think I've learned throughout my years that that's one of the most important things is creating that dynamic, that relationship so that you can perform. It's not always about the physical skills you may have, but kind of how the team works together as one and outside of volleyball, what you guys do together and how you perform.
Awesome.
Um, when you were I noticed the transition of those years at Georgia Tech, where that team was under 500 the first couple years, and then you kind of grew into a team where you won a national invitational championship, got into the NCAA tournament your senior year, and now here you are in this role, and with this group of ladies. And I don't know. It may be. It's definitely early, so we're not looking far down the road. But when you have experience in seeing what a team can do when they grow together, do you have a sense of you're starting to see this group mold into something as you've played your opponents over the last 6 matches? Does it give you some confidence? What are you able to share and tell your teammates? Because there are a lot of people, a lot of you ladies are coming from different places. You got people coming from different countries, different programs, some homegrown. So it's a nice mix. What kind of things are you able to provide and tell your teammates from your perspective?
Yeah, I think it's actually been great to see how well we've kind of bonded and worked together. I actually wasn't expecting it to go this well because there's so many, new pieces getting added to this, and I didn't necessarily know any. Well, actually, I do know Jessa Long. We played club together. She's also from Illinois, so me and her have had a friendship for a while. So that was another reason why I came here. But other than that, I think that we've really worked well together so far, and I think how we've also worked in practice, simulating game situations and watching film and scouting, just continuing to do those things and focusing on the end goal. And most importantly, working as a team. I think that's when we perform our best. And so, yeah.
All right, Kofi, you got another question for Dominique?
Actually, what would you say your leadership training has, and then what do you want to do with your leadership training? Are you looking to go into government? Are you looking to go into the school system, or what are you looking to do from that standpoint? If you don't mind me asking.
Specifically after college?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm actually very interested in not necessarily leadership, a leadership role, but from an investing standpoint, I'm really interested in stock investing, and that's something me and my family and I have been um, taking part in over the past year. So continuing to develop that and becoming more aware of that. I've actually been taking classes outside of school the past couple of years, understanding stocks more and investing, and potentially opening up a business or a firm, family business, pertaining to financial investment and uh, controlling financial investments for others.
That sounds
Nice.
good.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of the things that I noticed. I saw in one of previous interview that you did that you like stock trading. I'm not going to ask for any stock tips because I don't want to get any compliance issues or anything like that. But I'm following you. So if you were to happen to just say throw something out there, I don't even know if you can do that. But if compliance says that, yeah, Dominique, you can send out stock tips. I'll be following. I'm just going to put that out there. Compliance. Anybody who's listening and watching, I'm just saying. Okay.
If
But
I just
anyway,
happen to tweet about it.
if you exactly, yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's how. Yes, I'm just saying. But we'll be following. We'll be watching. One of your exactly. Before we let you out of here, one of your big hobbies. Of course, one of the interesting things I saw is that it was your sister who kind of helped you get into volleyball. Tell a little bit about that story. And it wasn't until 8th grade that you got into volleyball. Tell that little story about how your sister got you into volleyball.
Yeah, so I started like a community, I forgot what it's called, but a volleyball program within my community that wasn't very competitive. And she just started like tossing the ball to me and teaching me skills because she played uh, at a community college when she was younger. And so she kind of got me into it. We're actually 10 years apart. So, we haven't always been um, super close, but
Close.
that kind of brought that, yeah, that brought us together, playing volleyball outside, just peppering back and forth. And so from there in 8th grade, I started playing, and she was actually one of my coaches. And so that was a fun dynamic, but it's always interesting when you're related. And so from there, I started playing club volleyball, and she was her her and my family have been my biggest supporters throughout all of this, even though I started very late and I'm still learning new things. But it was really fun that she taught me how to play, and uh, I always remember that.
I
Very
have
cool.
to ask this because you're from Chicago, okay? So, are you a big pizza buff?
Oh yes, deep dish pizza.
Okay. So, what's your favorite? If you had to recommend any place, because I went to New York and I was just not impressed with their pizza at all. And my cousins, my family's up in Chicago, so they took me to Giordano's, um, and I love their pizza. But what's your favorite pizza, and what's your favorite pizza place in Chicago?
You have to have the deep dish pizza, and
Yep.
I like the cheese and sausage with tomatoes on it. And it's
Nice.
from Lou Malnati's. You can also order, I know you can order frozen online. It's called the Take It to the website, I think. So you can order it online, heat it up, and it's just as good. So I highly recommend
What's the name of the place?
Lou Malnati's.
Luminati's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Illuminati's.
We'll take
Nice.
it. Thank you so much.
Nice. Somebody show this to Illuminati's. You NIL deal right here with Dominique Washington. Come on now. Let's get this young lady taken care of. All right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. All right. Dominique, we appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on. This weekend, the Lady Rattlers are traveling to Charleston, South Carolina in the College of Charleston's Classic. We take on Campbell on Friday. Then we take on Idaho State and College of Charleston. It's funny. We're 3-3. Those schools are sitting at about 2-4, 4-2. So this will be a very interesting series of matches. Give us maybe some thoughts about these opponents as best as you can. Maybe what Coach Gokhan has shared with you, ladies, so far.
Yeah, he's definitely told us that it's a great opportunity for us to add this to our record. So we've been practicing. In practice, we just, simulated games and what shots we can hit to defeat these teams. And so that's been going well. And also we scout online, watching video, play-by-play. And so kind of seeing what the team's tendencies are and kind of how they move. So I think we're really prepared and focused for weekend.
Nice. So any Rattlers out there, if you're in the South Carolina region, if you're not coming to Tallahassee and you're going to stay in your area, let's get over to the College of Charleston and go support these ladies playing a great brand of volleyball right now. Really exciting team. Dominique, give out the social media plugs. Let people know where they can follow you and where they can find you if you're into that. If you're not into wanting to give out plug, okay, yeah, there you go. So go ahead and give it out. Give out the plugs.
Instagram, Dominique_Washington. And on Twitter, Dom_Washington.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we're following you on the O&G Strike Zone. And so we're following. And, like I said, if those tips ever come out, we'll be there to catch them when they're thrown out there. Just saying. So
great. I got you.
All right. Dominique, we appreciate your time. Good luck to you and your teammates. We hope to talk to you and follow you through the course of the season. And so congratulations on the honors thus far, but it's a long season to go. We're watching. We're rooting for you, ladies, and stay safe, all right?
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after these words. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi, and our guest, Ms. Dominique Washington. We'll be back right after these words.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp,
tofu, and rasta pasta?
Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock
in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m.
Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock
in downtown Atlanta.
For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992
or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com.
For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant,
authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell them mama hungry.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi here. Again, want to thank not only Mr. Chester for joining us, but then we had Dominique Washington. And just I want to go back before we get into talking to football again, guys, just again to reset some of what Dominique is doing right now. I mean, just in general, our volleyball program with a record of 3-3. Again, we are the cream right now, cream of the crop in the SWAC, without a doubt. Go look at the standings. We are the only team at 500. There's only 2 other programs that have won a contest in these first couple weekends. And I think we played some pretty good competition, and especially, South Alabama, Florida Gulf Coast, FIU. Those are the 3 losses. But those 3 games, even though they were 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, we were in those games. I mean, it wasn't like we lost by several points. I mean, we lost by 3, 4, 5 points. So it just goes to show that this team has continued to build its confidence, and they're playing some good volleyball right now. I wanted to make sure people know again the upcoming schedule. Friday, they're playing Campbell University, who's currently have a record of 2-4 with wins over Alabama State and North Carolina Central. That's their only 2 wins. Idaho State University is 2-4. That's who they play on Saturday, and then host College of Charleston, who's 4-3. So it'd be nice to see us come out of this another 2-1, or hell, 3-0 would be great. I mean, that would really set the ladies up for a great match going into the following weekend against Auburn on the road. So again, you heard it. Remember, Coach Gokhan Yilmaz, he told us he put a good schedule together. And man, when do they have a home match? Is it not till conference, Kelvin? When's the or?
Yes, October 10th after the South Carolina State game. They host a couple of SWAC schools, so that's when their first home game is.
All right, you Rattler Nation, you got to make sure you get out to go check that out. I mean, that's going to be in Gaither Gym, so that's going to be a big game for them. All right. We move back into talking about football coming up. You guys have anything you want to say to me before we continue going forward here?
They better win this here Saturday, or Rattler Nation fitting to be lost it. I'm telling you. No, now, in all seriousness, I believe they're going to win. I believe this team is too talented. What my concern is, Coach Simmons mentioned the transfers that we're looking to get back. I want to know if we're going to have those guys on Saturday, or if we're holding them out, for another week or so. So
now, are you referring to, for example, Savion Williams?
Savion did not play. Jeremiah Pruitt did not play. The transfer from Savannah State that plays running back. What's his name?
McLeod.
McLeod did not play. So I'm curious as to when they gonna play, because we need them.
It's funny you mention that, because I heard that was a theme at a couple other schools. I know Southern had some issues where some players didn't play their first week, and some of them were transfers. I think I heard some folks at Grambling talking about also some players. So I mean, I don't know. It would have been great. Obviously, there are things in the background that we don't know about. Maybe some compliance issues and other things of that nature. We're only speculating, but
right.
It is disappointing for those players, because those guys want to get on the field, and it definitely
Absolutely. They've been here, but see, they've been here long enough for these compliance issues to be straightened out. And so now my attention is like, okay, what is the issue? Like, why is it taking so long? They've been here since like January or last semester. At the beginning of 2020 is now September, and we don't have it together. I'm concerned. Lightly concerned, but I want to say that I'm looking at this situation closely. Put it like that.
Kelvin, let's talk a little bit about what, I mean, we've talked about the defense for a second. Were there any concerns or anything that you saw from the defense that concerns you? I'll jump in and say the thing that concerned me, the one thing, was our lack of pressure that we put on Shedeur early. I was surprised that we didn't or couldn't, I don't know which one, put more pressure. We didn't. I was a little shocked by that. What defensive takeaways do you have concerns about going into the next week?
I have none. I thought General Hunt and the interior line were all over the place and very active. I thought we tackled well. Even the jump balls that they got, passes, the DBs were in great positions. They got some long, athletic receivers, and they made a play or two here and there. Outside of that, they scored 7 points. I think they collectively, offensively, didn't have no more than 200 or so yards. Defense was strong. I thought we won the defense, and I thought we did well with special teams. Of course, we had the one block, and I was a little concerned about alignment of that person, and they out schemed us on that with two guys to his outside, and the way we had him positioned, he had no shot of blocking that rusher who ended up blocking the punt, the kick. But no, I have no concerns. I thought this was our defensive coordinator's first time out, and I thought they did a really solid job, and everybody who got in the game and participated, they competed. Man, we got turnovers, caused some fumbles, so I have no concerns right now with the kicking and special teams effort from the first game.
All right, let's talk about grades, and then we'll close the book on one. So we'll keep it general. We'll do that unless we want to go by position groups. I saw you shake your head there. What'd you say, Kofi?
General. Keep it general.
All right. We'll keep it general. So let's start with the offense. Kofi, what grade are you giving the offense from game one?
An F.
No further explanation needed with a red pen, huh?
We didn't score a touchdown, bro. We didn't score a touchdown. Even at the very best, it would be a D. Schematically, with the way that we just did not make the adjustments, I don't know. And we lost the game. So just the mere fact that it just took them way too long to make the quarterback switch, that also goes into it. I mean, what you want, a D minus? I
No,
mean, we didn't do
you're
it.
honest answer. Honest answer. I love it.
Yeah.
Kelvin, what grade are you giving the offense?
I'm gonna give it a D plus, and mainly because I thought the running game was pretty good.
It was
I
decent.
think we averaged more than 5 yards a carry. We just needed to be more committed to it, and I hope we'll do that this Saturday also. Commit to the running game, let the quarterbacks get comfortable, and make the defense unbalanced, and then attack them with all the different weapons we got on the outside. So that's my grade, D plus.
Why I hate to disappoint. The yardage was a little less than 5 per rush. It was about 3.5 per rush.
4 yards.
But
That's 4 yards a carry almost. Three
well,
and a half
yeah.
times three. 3 times 3 is 9. So 3.5 times 3 is what?
I don't. You're making me do math at this time of the night.
It's got 11.5.
Okay, but we were 5 of
So
7 on third down. So
that's a first down every 3 plays.
Well, we were 5 of 17 on third down. 5 of 17.
We were in third and long trying to throw the freaking ball, run the ball.
I'm just going with your average. I'm just saying that. So, yeah, that it is. I would also be in the ballpark of a D. You'd be in that 60% range, along with you guys. What was the troublesome for me was the passing length of our passes. I wanted to go back and chart it. I feel like we didn't throw the ball past 15, 20 yards enough. Now,
past the line of scrimmage in the first half.
Well, okay. Look, there are reasons.
The middle of the field. I thought this was the game. The middle of the field was wide open. I don't know why we didn't target tight ends more.
Well, he didn't have time. If you go and look at the film, and after a while you start everyone else, I know me, I'm sitting there watching, I'm doing a head count. I'm counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I mean, I'm doing the count in my head, and by the time I got to 3, McKay had a guy in his face or was on the ground. But Shador, on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's got the ball out. He's so that second and a half between what Shador had and what McKay had made a big difference in that ball game. And again, the big question of why the protection was so off is what worries me going forward. And I know it'll get fixed. I know they'll be emphasizing it all week. But that's something to look at. And so that, when we look at post grades, that's what we get. All right, let's move over to the defensive side. Kelvin or Kofi, excuse me. What are we grading the defense at? What are you giving them?
I give them an A. I give them an A minus, with a couple of penalties, but even that was real. I give them a solid A. We're dealing with SWAC refs, people. SWAC refs.
Yeah,
they were horrible. Can we grade them? Yeah, let's grade them.
Oh, we'll get. Yeah, you know what we ought to do? We ought to keep a video because there was at least how many plays? At least 3 in that game that were like, what are they looking at and why are they reviewing it? So, yeah, we definitely might have to grade the SWAC officials. You're very high on your grades for the defense. What about you, Kelvin? Are you in the same grade category with?
I'm not going to give them an A because we didn't get any. We didn't score. No pick six or anything like that. But they got a B plus from me. I thought they did a yeoman's job, and I just hope they continue to stay hungry, work hard, and prepare for this next. And that translates to the next game.
Yeah, I'm more of in the B category myself with you. I don't think it was perfect. I am concerned about how it seemed like our cornerbacks were attacked. Yes, some of those passes were high, but those were jump balls that they won. How do we fix that? There was a play that was really telling that was a miss by Shador on a fifth. It's almost like a 40-yard pass that he threw down the center of the field, and it just went past the receiver's outstretched hands. I don't know if you recall the play that I'm talking about. I know a lot of people were really high about the way Marquise covered that ball. That wasn't a miss because of anything Marquise did. I mean, he was with the receiver like he should have been. That ball was thrown about as well as it could have been, and the receiver just missed coming up with that. That almost was, honestly, that probably should have been a catch. And that would have been the prettiest ball. Among all the pretty passes that Shador threw, that one would have been the one that would have been on everyone's highlight reel. Like, oh my God, did he just throw that ball? Because it almost came, and the receiver catches that ball, they're stopped right there at the 2-yard line. That's how pretty that was. And so I just thought a lot of times our DBs didn't see the ball. We didn't high point the ball. We didn't get any deflections that I saw on any of those those deep passes. So I would just be worried about the lack of pressure from the linebackers. Where were our linebackers? I didn't see them. I don't know where they're at.
I think schematically they didn't, that was just a part of their approach. And I'm not sure exactly. I do want to see some diversity with that. Let me put it like that.
I too. I would like to see a little pressure called up every now and then. Let's go to special teams. Special teams, Kofi. Where are we grading special teams at?
C. I give them a C.
Why so low on the special teams?
The reason why I give them a C, I think that we did some good things. We got a couple of returns off. We were near scoring. We had an opportunity when the ball was hiked. I think on a 4th down play when the punter from Jackson State dropped the ball. We were nowhere to be found around the ball. And then had they not stopped it because of whatever penalty, I don't even know what penalty they called. But, we were nowhere around the ball at all. Had we been there, that would have been a free play for us to possibly either block or, get the ball in their territory. That's one. The second thing is, special teams got us 6 points, but special teams schematically didn't adjust when they called the timeout and they set those guys up outside to block the field goal. So getting that field goal block cost us the game. So as much as I want to say kudos, good job, and I think that there were some things that we did well, overall it's a C for me.
All right. How about you, Kelvin?
I give them a B minus. The block punt, it happened. So, unlike what Kofi said, I don't believe in one play cost you the game. There was many opportunities to win that game.
Oh, absolutely. And I agree with that.
And that was just one of those opportunities that we didn't convert. But overall, the leg strength of the kicker seemed pretty good. His accuracy was pretty good. Kickoffs were okay. Like you say, in the return game, we made some plays. Coverage was okay, so B minus.
You go B minus. I'll go solid B. The return game wasn't bad. We had 2 kickoff returns, averaged 35.5 on the 2 kickoff returns that we did have. I mean, there were only a total of 4. We had 2. Jackson State had 2. We only had 1 punt return of 17 yards. They actually outgained us on the punt returns. 2 punt returns for 55 yards. They had 1 really good punt return. But of the 6 punts that Chris Fadul had, his average was 45.5. He put 2 of them inside the 20. 2 of them were 50-plus yards. Only 1 touchback, and 1 was called a fair catch. So I thought, or excuse me, they called 3 fair catches. Excuse me, they called 3 fair catches. So I thought that was good, and probably the only thing that kept it from being an A was, like you guys brought up, the blocked field goal. Which, when you think of all the things that we're being and complaining about, we almost had a lead at halftime. Can you think about that for a second? Let's everyone just stop and think about that for a second. We were that close to having a 2-point lead at half if that field goal doesn't get blocked. That's how close a game it was. So, we're gonna be all right, as we've said plenty of times. All right, gentlemen, let's take a break. Come back for the final segment. Talk about our thoughts and predictions as we look ahead to Fort Valley State coming up this Saturday in Bragg Stadium. You're watching the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Kelvin, and Kofi will be back right after these words.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Are you hungry for
the Fort Valley play? All right, welcome back to the O&G Strike Zone. Brian, Fulford, Kelvin, Rozier, Kofi Hemingway. We appreciate you watching the show. Make sure you stay tuned in with us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at O&G Strike Zone. Have a thought, comment, like for us to talk about anything in particular for an upcoming show next Wednesday. Hit us up, ONGStrikeZone@gmail.com. Make sure you're following us. Download the Jericho Broadcast Network's app on your Google and Apple Play Store. MyJBN and MyBCSN is the simple search and how you can find us. We'll put up the podcast a little bit later for those who might miss us live right now. Fort Valley State comes to town this weekend. It is, well, by Saturday, hopefully, it'll be 665 days since the Rattlers have had a win. That goes back to November 16th, 2019, when we beat Howard. We all had high hopes coming out of that game. Unfortunately, we've been tasting tasting. It's been a bad taste in our mouth for 665 days. Hopefully that comes to an end.
Why are
But
you
as I
continuing to
mentioned,
count the days? My God.
because it's a storyline. It's a storyline. I can't help it. I don't write the stories. The storylines write themselves, Kofi. But I will say, the last time that we had a 2-game losing streak, we started a 9-game winning streak with a game against Fort Valley State. September 14, 2019, the last time we played Fort Valley in Bragg Stadium, we beat them 57-20. Had a 40-0 first half, which included a 33-0 second quarter. Pretty impressive performance by the Rattlers, led by former quarterback Ryan Stanley back then. The Wildcats are coming into town, head coach by Maurice Flowers, who this is his second season. I don't remember Fort Valley State playing in the spring, but they must have. They are. Say again.
The SIAC didn't play in the spring, did they?
No, they didn't. But I know some Division II schools did play games. I guess it just slipped by me that Fort Valley State might have played a couple. I know Savannah State did, for example. But so Coach Maurice Flowers comes in leading the Wildcats, who are coming off of a 30-0 win against Tuskegee in the inaugural Red Tails Classic. That was on, what was that, Monday night or Sunday night? Anyway, Sunday, you said? Yeah. They 6-0. They had a 6-0 lead at half, then a 21-0 third quarter, which was included a couple of touchdown passes by their quarterback, Tyrell Jackson, and then a 60-yard fumble recovery broke open the game late in the third quarter. They came back and got the final field goal in the fourth quarter. But all in all, they held Tuskegee to 4 yards of rushing, 99 yards of passing. So that, you do the math on that, that's 103 yards of total offense that they held Tuskegee to. Offensively, Fort Valley rushed for 118 against Tuskegee, passed for 166. They were 11 of 17 on third downs, possessed the ball for 32 minutes against Tuskegee. And, a lot of people who watched that contest came away really impressed by Tuskegee's defense, Fort Valley State's defense. And so it remains to be seen what that means for FAMU. I will say, before I give it over to you guys, I like to look at predictive analysis and stats and things of that nature. If you're familiar with Massey Ratings, who Massey does a good job of predictive analytics and score predictions and probability win percentages and things of that nature, they only see this game being a 14-point victory for FAMU by a score of 28-14. I find that very interesting for a FCS who's playing a Division II team, that only a 14-point margin of victory is what's on the board. So, yeah. We'll go to you. We'll start with you, Kelvin. Your thoughts and analysis, predictions for this weekend against Fort Valley State.
So, in looking at the game, the Tuskegee game, 6 points in the first half, 2 field goals, total 3 field goals for the game. One of the touchdowns in the third quarter, as you mentioned, was a scooping score for about 60 yards. The offense had a short field. There wasn't a whole lot of offense production. They built on defense and special teams. They averaged about 47 yards a punt also against Tuskegee. So that is a good formula that translates no matter who you play. Good defense and good special teams. So I expect the Rattlers to be prepared, hungry, upset. You're going to have a nice crowd in Bragg, first home game. And I know I still believe in the talent level we have and the depth we have on this team. So it would not surprise me if this game is over with in the first half. It equally would not surprise me if we still trying to get separation in the fourth quarter, though, because a lot of it is going to depend on the adjustments we've made, and then I just have to see our execution of offense and how comfortable we make this young freshman quarterback in his first start at the collegiate level. And so until I see that, I know the potential, I know the talent. I'm just like Coach Simmons says in his coaches show. I think he was dead on. This kind of game here is not about the opponent; it's about us. Not that because the opponent ain't good or capable of beating us, but really this week is about the Rattlers getting into work, doing the preparation, correcting all mistakes, and coming out guns blazing from the jump against an opponent trying to put the foot to the gas, to the floor. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm expecting a win. I'm expecting a big win, but I'm not guaranteeing it. The game got to be played.
Oh, you're gonna put an or on that sheet there, Kelvin?
Yes.
So no bold prediction from Kelvin. That's interesting. See what one game has done to you. Now you're not so bold, huh? All right, Kofi, what do you got?
35-3, FAMU.
Any bold predictions? Any individual performances that you might want to go out on a limb about?
250 for Maritovic.
Okay.
I had talked about Chad Hunter. He didn't have great yards, but he had 7 catches.
And the plays were there. There were several missed opportunities with Chad.
Yeah, there was a couple of deep catches that if the quarterback had caught him in stride, he would have took to the end zone. So I'm looking for him to have a potential double-digit catch game.
Well, he was targeted 13 times in that game against Jackson State. So the opportunities, as you mentioned, were there. Well, since nobody else will say it, I will continue to tell you about the freshman quarterback, the true freshman from Orlando, Florida, Wekiva High School, Junior Maritovic. I was reading the coach speak, and I could hear what coach wanted to say. I knew he couldn't say it, so I tried to tell you. I tried to give everybody a heads up to be ready for it. They told me no. They shot me down. You booed me, but Junior Maritovic shows out this weekend, folks. I'm telling you now.
Look, I want him to show out. Please show out.
300 plus passing yards, 3 touchdown minimum. I'm telling you now.
That'll be awesome.
The kid's going to show out. A kid's going to show out.
He does that. He will have.
We need somebody to take the reins of this offense and be the guy. We need that, right? It's nice to have guys who are all capable, but we need a leader. We need a guy. And so hopefully that would happen.
And the good thing is, I think what's positive for him being a freshman is there's enough leadership around him that he doesn't have to be the man. He just has to get the ball to the right people, make sure the right protections are in place, and move us down the field. And I don't think that's too much to ask. I think everything that I have read, shout out to, there was a great report. I thought some great reporting by Rory Chirac of the Tallahassee Democrat in his article about Maritovic. And Al Chester talked about it as well, about him being around in the spring and how quickly and why he was able to pick up this offense so well and why he had such a good camp. And so I think there's some validity to that. Coach Simmons has talked about the arm talent. I think that'll show up. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him really show out this weekend. And I'll go one more bold prediction. I expect to see more blitzing this weekend. I think we were way too passive and set back and let Jackson State throw on us too much. I think we go complete 180 and go, to the wall this week. And I think you're going to see a lot more pressure from the Rattler defense this weekend. We have such good DBs. Well, let them man up. Let them man up this weekend like Jackson State did us. And let's get after Fort Valley State and let's not let them be comfortable this weekend. All right. And I'm predicting the volleyball wins at least 2 out of 3 this weekend. How about that? I'll go even with the volleyball. 2 out of 3. At least 2 of 3, I should say. All right. That's going to do it for this show. Make sure you follow us on social media everywhere at O&G Strike Zone. Make sure to tell a friend, share it. Let us know what you thought, what we got right, what we got wrong. You can go ahead and send me my flowers, put them in the mail. Let me know how you feel about the show. And, hey, make sure you download the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Go to your Google or Apple Play Store. Just search My JBN or My BCSN and let us know how you feel. All right? So that's going to do it for Kelvin, for Kofi. I'm Brian Fulford. Rattler Nation, we'll see you in Bragg. Or if you're going to Columbia, South Carolina, make sure you go up there and support the ladies as well. All right, Rattlers, we're going to take care of each other. All right? We're going to be all right. Just make sure you strike, and strike again, baby.